edition of the SAU Coaches Show. I'm Jacob Humphrey with MuirRiderAthletics.com, and joining me this week is the head coach of the men's and women's cross country team, Tim Servis. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
First off, Coach, let's get into last weekend. Your team had the opportunity to travel to Joplin, Missouri to compete in the Southern Stampede hosted by Missouri Southern State University. Give us a little bit of the takeaways that you were able to get based on your team's performances this past weekend.
They performed really good. Both teams performed better than what they had last year. Their times were better. It was the same course. Temperature was a little bit lower, so that could have helped them out a little bit. The guys performed at least 90 seconds as the team average better than last year. So the improvement on the guys' side is really good. And the girls, they improved a couple seconds better than last year, which is really good because we have a young team. And our number one runner from last year it was her last year, it was her senior year, Carly Langley. And so, that was pretty hard to make up for, but our new runners have come in and they've helped filled in the gap. So we don't have a front runner on the girls' side like we used to. Like Carly was way out there in front a lot of times. And of course we know she won the Great American Conference Championship, but we have a more solid pack. And so as a team, we're just as good as we were last year because our back end's probably a little bit faster, and we have some that have stepped up.
You talk about having a young pack. Leading the women last weekend was a sophomore, Abby Foreman. I believe she increased her or bettered her time at the Lois Davis Invitational by 43 seconds. So talk a little bit about the strides that she's making and what you're able to see out of her, and kind of maybe the things you expect her to do in the coming years.
Well, I expect her to be one of the best runners ever. Well, right now she already is. She's posting times better than most of the girls that have been through these programs. I expect her to probably break school records. I would assume. I mean, if she goes like she is, she'll break records without a problem. She's only a sophomore, and she's running faster than a lot of our former record holders did when they were a sophomore. So I really perceive her, getting into the 17s for the 5K and holding the records for hopefully a long time.
We know about the Chris Wallaces and the Virginia Knives of the world. Who are some of the athletes that you're keeping an eye on that have maybe, not necessarily maybe your point scoring athletes or the ones that are finishing at the top of the most of the meets, but people that you've looked at and are like, I think that they're making really good strides and that I'll be able to depend on them maybe even later into this year or even in the beginning of next year?
There are a lot. Really, this is a very talented bunch. And it's going to all come down to how hard are they willing to work and how hard are they willing to work during the off season. And that's where we saw huge improvements from Abby, because in the off season she didn't miss a day and or barely ever missed a day, and ran real hard, and during the season works twice as hard. So looking at the guys' side right now, I've seen huge strides out of Raul Hernandez, Elijah Reading, Jose Guevara. Those two, or those three, are probably the three most improved. Hope I'm not missing anybody because I've seen a lot of great things this year. And on the girls' side, we have a new runner, Taylin Billings, who ran in 1955, and that was a PR for her, and she cut a few seconds off of her best time. So I really expect her to do good. Mahalia Soap has been running great. She's improving quite a bit. And Ashlyn Foley, she's from Delaware. We recruited her from Delaware. And she seems like she's going to have a pretty good season. Last season she was injured for a long period of time, and this season she's been relatively healthy. So I really foresee her making huge strides and being in the top 3 on our team.
Coach, this weekend you travel over to Monticello to compete in the conference-only GAC preview meet. Talk about a little bit of the expectations of the teams that you're going to be facing and how you think your team will fare.
Okay, well, Harding University is going down to Florida, and they're one of the top teams in the conference. So they're going to make a trip down to Florida, so they're going to miss this meet. And then East Central, when I spoke to their coach, he said it was too far to drive for them for a preview meet. So those two teams will not be there. That's our competition in the conference. So there's no other team in the conference that will beat us. So I perceive our teams both winning this weekend with hands down. It won't be an issue, but the reason why I take the teams there is because they need to see the course. Because every course is different. Some have a lot of hills, some are completely flat, a lot of switchbacks, turns. You learning the course is very important. The better you know the course, the better you run, the better you can plan your strategy. And so that's what we do. That's the main reason why we're going over there, is because my coaching philosophy, I believe that it's extremely important for all the runners to learn the course. And secondly, it'd be nice to get a good win under our belt and a little bit of confidence.
Both the Lady Mule Riders and the Mule Rider Cross Country teams will look to get that first win under their belt this weekend in Monticello as they play in the GAC preview meet. Coach, thanks for joining us and best of luck this weekend.
Oh, thank you.